Some betrayals don't crash into your life like a thunderclap. They creep in like a slow, poisonous fog, seeping into every corner of your trust until one day you wake up and realize the air you've been breathing is toxic. That's what my family did to me. For years, I was the one carrying their world on my shoulders, thinking my sacrifices bound us together. But the night I finally let it all come crashing down, I realized I'd been nothing more than the scaffolding holding up their castle. And once I stepped away, their kingdom trembled. Before we dive into what happened, make sure you subscribe for more raw, powerful, true-to-the-bone stories like this one. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from, your city, your hometown, anywhere you call home. I'd love to know. Now, let's go back to where it all began. I was their lifeline. My father, Gregory, always had a new demand wrapped in the tone of an order. "You're doing well, Adrian," he'd say. "Step up. Family comes first." My mother, Helena, was gentler, her voice honeyed but heavy with expectation. "You're our rock," she would whisper, her eyes soft but her meaning sharp. I was the foundation, and without me, they'd crumble. Then there was my brother, Damien, a social media prince with champagne tastes and no real income. He chased clout like it was oxygen, posting glamorous dinners and luxury vacations I'd paid for without so much as a nod of gratitude. I had built my fortune from scratch, nights of relentless coding, months living out of a studio apartment, surviving on coffee and the hope that one day my startup would take off. It did. By 38, my tech empire had given me more wealth than I'd ever dreamed of. And I spent it on them. Lavish trips. Expensive car repairs. Their kids' tuition. Weekend getaways. Medical bills. Mortgage help. I thought that's what family meant, being the one they could count on no matter what. I believed that loyalty bound us. I was wrong. Last summer, we all met at their lakeside cabin. The air was warm and heavy with the smell of pine and campfire smoke. Lanterns swayed gently from the porch beams while they sat around laughing about some uncle's terrible golf swing from a vacation I had paid for in full. I sat there, drink in hand, listening, smiling faintly. They didn't see me, not really. To them, I wasn't a son, a brother, a man. I was a walking checkbook with a pulse. Then Helena's voice slid through the air, smooth but cold as a blade. "This little getaway, it's just for the ones who count." Damien leaned back, grinning. "You'd be bored anyway, Adrian. Too upscale for you." A spark on dry grass. I raised my glass in mock salute and let the moment pass on the surface. Inside, though, something ignited, not rage, but clarity. A sharp, electric realization that I had been funding my own invisibility. They didn't know that I had orchestrated this very getaway. A mountain lodge in the Rockies where the stars felt close enough to snatch from the sky. A private hot air balloon ride at sunrise. A 5-course dinner under chandeliers that looked like frozen fireworks. I'd planned massages for my mother, a whiskey tasting for my father, and even hired a drone photographer for Damien's endless thirst for content. They'd never seen a single invoice. I'd shielded them from the cost, thinking I was making them feel cherished. That night, I drove back to my city loft. The streetlights blurred past my windshield like streaks of fire. My pulse thudded in my ears, not with anger, but with purpose. I poured a glass of bourbon, the ice clinking against the crystal, and sat at my desk. My laptop screen lit my face in the dim room. One by one, I canceled it all. The lodge bookings. Gone. The balloon ride. Refunded. The dinner reservations. Wiped clean. Then I locked down every account they could possibly access. Savings, trust funds, investments, all secured under new passwords only I knew. The silence in my loft was alive, humming like the air before lightning strikes. This wasn't about revenge. This was about finally refusing to be the safety net that let them leap without consequence. Saturday morning broke crisp and cool, the kind of air that bites your lungs awake. I brewed an espresso so strong it could strip paint and sat on my balcony, imagining their arrival at the lodge. Helena, draped in cashmere, stepping out like she owned the mountain. Gregory barking orders about luggage and check-in times. Damien, phone in hand, narrating his luxury trip for his followers. I could picture the moment, the concierge's polite frown as she typed into the system. "I'm sorry, there's no reservation under that name." Helena's smile cracking. Damien's voice climbing into panic. Gregory's number flashing on my phone like a warning light. I let it ring 4 times before answering. "Adrian, fix this," he barked. "No," I said simply, and hung up. By the end of the day, they were frantic. It was peak season, every decent lodge within 50 miles was booked solid. The balloon company wouldn't budge without my signature. Their perfect weekend was slipping through their fingers. Damien called next, his voice tight with a mix of fury and fear. "You're humiliating us," he hissed. I said nothing. Helena texted, "We need to talk, Adrian." I ignored it, searing a ribeye steak while the skyline burned gold in the sunset. By Sunday, they had mobilized the extended family. Calls and texts flooded in. Cousin Leo, Uncle Frank, even my godmother, each one delivering a variation of the same script, "This isn't you. Family is everything." But to me, family had become a chain. Monday morning, the lodge manager emailed me. Damien had filed a complaint claiming I had stolen their getaway, accusing me of fraud. He'd even called corporate, demanding they reinstate the bookings for free. Fraud. The word burned in my chest like acid. I called the manager and calmly explained that I was the sole payer on every reservation. He laughed quietly. "He's been calling non-stop," he said. "Sounds desperate." It wasn't desperation. It was war. That afternoon, a rideshare pulled up in my driveway. On my security feed, I saw Damien in aviators, phone glued to his hand. Helena stepped out slowly, her face arranged into rehearsed sorrow. I let the doorbell chime 3 times before opening the door. I didn't invite them in. Damien spoke first, his voice sharp. "You've made your point. Fix it." I leaned against the doorframe. "Fix what? Keep bankrolling your ego?" Helena tried next. "We're family. This isn't how we solve problems." I stepped forward, my shadow stretching across the porch. "You told me I didn't count," I said. "I built your paradise, and you didn't even see me in it. I laid it all out. Every payment, every hidden sacrifice, every time I'd swallowed their indifference. Then I told them the truth, I had cut them off completely. No more trust funds. No more rent payments. No more safety net." They stared at me like I had just spoken in a foreign language. Damien's face drained of color. Helena's eyes shimmered, but I didn't flinch. "You're done using me," I said, and closed the door. That was 6 months ago. The quiet that followed wasn't peace. It was them regrouping. Damien started posting vague online jabs, fishing for sympathy. Gregory tried to log into accounts I managed, only to find them locked. Helena stopped talking about family vacations in her social circle. They're learning what life looks like without my wallet holding it together. But last week, I got an email from my property manager. Someone had tried to redirect rent payments from my coastal condo into a different account, using details only family could know. An old college address of mine, buried in records. Damien's fingerprints were all over it. They thought they could outmaneuver me. But I've fortified everything. Accounts, assets, properties, all sealed. I didn't just cancel a getaway. I dismantled the illusion they'd built. They believed my loyalty was their birthright. But loyalty isn't a blank check. It's a choice. And for the first time in my life, I've chosen myself. Have you ever had to draw a hard line with your family? To say enough and walk away? Tell me your story in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because the most powerful stories are the ones that tell the truth, no matter how much it stings.